everybody. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Maticus Valentine Cole. Happy Tuesday. Tomorrow's Valentine's Day, and love is in the air, and everything feels nice and wonderful. And well, if you've got somebody, if you don't have anybody, Valentine's Day is just the day of the week that reminds you that for whatever reason you feel inside yourself that you're not good enough, smart enough, good looking enough, we're too weird and too goofy, and so I don't know what if I don't got no money and it's a blah 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 blah. So this kind of goes into the topic that I want to talk about today, kind of so forth. Because one thing that I hear from a lot of my male friends is a little frustration. Because sometimes a lot of them, like myself, and I've run into this quite a bit myself, is that whenever we're asking people out or expressing interest in a woman, taking aside that in this day and age it's insanely risky to ask anybody out on a date, because you have no idea what demons lie inside behind those wonderful doe-like eyes. And it's not to say that all women are, but man, some dudes are magnets for them. Anyway, what we try to, one thing I want to talk about is one trend that's been going on forever, which is, why do girls always choose the bad boys? Well, I've touched on this subject in previous videos, and I don't know, to me it's not a complicated situation. Sometimes people go after the bad boys because, well, they like the edge. They like how they look. They like how they carry themselves. I don't know, there's just something about a badass that makes them kind of go, am I moist? I don't know. So, but a thing I've heard from a lot of my female followers and subscribers is that sometimes they go after the bad boy because they believe somehow in some way that they can fix them. And I've also said in previous videos, can't be done. Bad boys have one thing in common. They love being bad boys, and they don't give a shit about being a good guy, because they, like most of us, know where being a good guy gets us. Nowhere. I mean, yeah, good guys, they're fun to talk to, they're fun to hang out with, they're fun to yak with on the phone till 3 in the morning, but at the end of the day, when it comes to romantic prospect, the nice guys get put into the friend zone and locked in there, and the keys are thrown. However, it occurred to me as I was having some French toast the other day that maybe women could get what they want without having to work quite so hard. Amazing. So, here's a thought. What if, instead of picking a bad boy who traditionally likes to just go out drinking all the time, doesn't mind swearing at you because it's a Thursday, says he calls you bitch as much as he calls you baby, instead of picking those egregious pieces of shit, wouldn't it be easier though to get a good guy and put a little edge in him? Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not talking about taking the guy who is like, oh darling, it is such a magnificent morning, I was looking at the sunrise, and then I realized, oh, what a poor example of beauty that is compared to what it's like to watch you wake up in the morning. And take one of and you know, okay? And you don't want to take one of those guys and say, okay, what I want you to do is I want you to ignore me sometimes. I want you to start being more jealous when other guys talk to me, because they will. And I want you to start wearing your jeans kind of low so that your ass crack is showing, and talk about plumbing in vehicles. Do that. Don't do that. For the love of God and all in heaven and all the angels and everybody else, don't do that. Okay? However, what one can do, since good guys are traditionally the kind of fellas who are willing to compromise, or sweet, gentle souls who are more than willing to make a change here and there to something that's more conducive to what you find attractive and sexy. After all, which guys are more likely allowing you to pick out their outfits for them, tell them what to wear, say yes dear every time they go out and you want to go and have brunch on a Sunday? Nice guys do. Okay? However, one thing you can do is give them a little bit more confidence. So get with your guy. You know, give him a little more confidence. Tell him he's your big teddy bear. Tell him he's your stud muffin. Tell him he's your rock star. Tell him he's the thug that doesn't bug. Things like that. It'll soak in a little bit without losing what makes him good. Okay? Number 2. Nice guys, from what I've seen, maybe not 100% of the time, but sometimes these are also the cats that have a fashion sense that I call safe wear. By safe wear, I mean these are the guys that like to wear, you know, really nice slacks and a button-up polo and maybe a dress shirt here and there, which is nice, and that's fine whenever you're hanging out with family and friends, and you know, because you want to look, you know, presentable, right? But if you're hanging out downtown, the fun parts of town, people like that, yeah, you like hanging out with them stuff, but these are kind of the cats that dudes who are the bad boys are looking to take their wallet, mess with you a little bit, talk smack about you in front of your honey, and your honey is just kind of like, But here's a secret. Most bad boys don't mess with other bad boys, which is also another reason why a lot of women like to choose a bad boy, because women just love a dude that other bad boys won't fuck with, which means that they won't screw with them too. You know what I mean? So, here's a few things that I would suggest. If you notice, and let's just take for example, you got someone like me. Okay, I know I'm tuning my own horn here, but bear with me. You got a guy who is a poet. I'm a sweetie bear. I'm a pacifist. I don't like violence. I don't fight. Well, I don't throw the first punch, but I have no problem defending somebody if the situation arises. I'm not going to allow myself to be a victim or allow the woman that I'm with be a victim. But I choose the diplomatic approach first. But for the most part, no one ever screws with me. Why? Because I wear hoodies, I wear a bandana, I got a nice scruffy beard, and I can make this face, and this face, and I can make this face. And also, when I get pissed at a stranger who thinks it might be fun on a Wednesday night to give me a little crap, I got this face. And they don't know that I'm a pacifist, that I'm a poet, that I'm a sweetie bear, a lovely honey muffin. They think, oh shit, this dude we do not mess with. Okay? But on the occasions where I need to wear a nice polo shirt or a nice pair of slacks, I can do that because I'm a nice guy and I'm familiar with it. Okay? So, kind of a roundabout way of saying it, but don't you think it would be easier, ladies, to find a good guy, someone that you've tucked away in the friend zone, who would be open to giving him a little more edge wear? Some guys might look better in leather than slacks. Maybe. Some guys might look good in a hoodie. Maybe. Some guys might like to wear a bandana. Some guys might like to wear a bracelet with skulls on it. Some people might like to wear a dragon necklace. Some people might like to get a tattoo. You know, sometimes the outward appearance, the first impression that most people make with each other, is what causes people to make the snap judgments. And in normal everyday society, the snap judgment is, oh, he looks like a badass, therefore he might be. But it doesn't have to be well known that he's a sweetie bear. You know what I mean? Also, you want to put a little more edge into that good guy? How about this? When it comes to going out, instead of just deciding all the time what you guys are going to do, ask him what he would like to do. And do that every once in a while. I mean, it's an old saying, guys, but compromise is important. Communication is important. And if the guy would like to go to a monster truck rally, or maybe go to the flea market, or, which, guys, don't get me wrong, I know it's considered low class and low rent to go to a flea market, but there's some good shit there. Anyway, but maybe he wants to go to the bar and hang out. Maybe he wants to go take you to a baseball game or a football game or a sports activity. Maybe he would like you maybe go to the zoo, see all the other animals. And you know, it doesn't always have to be your call. And it would be nice, but this is something you're going to have to work with, because some guys are so well ingrained into the I've got a poop nanny, that no matter how many times you say, honey, what would you like to do? Oh, baby, whatever you want to do, that's fine. Tell him. We ain't going anywhere until you tell us what we're going to do. Tell him. Honeys, if you're large and in charge, be in charge and let the dude take the lead every once in a while. And every once in a while, something subtle's going to happen with him. He's going to get a little more comfortable, and he's going to say, hey, babe, I saw this exhibit in the museum. Let's go do that. And I know you're dying to go talk bullshit with your friends, but go and do that. And what'll end up happening is you've got a nice guy who has become a partner, which is a little bit of edge. I'm not saying take your dude to a Harley Davidson store and deck him out in head to toe in leather and shit and make him start riding a motorcycle and shit, but help him make more unsafe fashion choices. Give him a little more, tell him a little bit more about attitude. You know, watch more action movies with him. You know, do the things that are going to influence the dude to have the edge that you seek without having all the asshole-ish bullshit that bad boys bring by choosing them first. Does that make sense? Now, guys, I'm perfectly aware that not every guy is going to want to do this. I'm also perfectly aware that not every guy is going to be able to do this. You can you can take a nice guy and do your very best to, you know, give him a mohawk and a nose ring, and he'll just look dumb as hell. But use your imagination. If good guy is the goal, but edge guy is preferred, trust me when I tell you, it's easier to put edge in a good guy than it is to put good in a bad guy. Bad guys universally love being bad. That's why you can't change them. Good guys are willing to change for you, or at least make a slight alteration. They're willing to compromise. This is how you get what you want without sacrificing what you need. But this is just my opinion. I'm curious though. What's yours? Okay. So Tell me about what are some suggestions that maybe you would give other people to put a little more edge in their good guy. Tell me about some success stories that you've had in maybe doing this. Maybe some other suggestions, or maybe some reasons as to why the bad guys are preferable to you. I would love to know your thoughts on this. Go ahead and leave them in the comments below. But that's it for me for today, guys. I want you to have a safe and happy day. And I'll do some love poetry for you tomorrow for Valentine's Day. That was dirty. But as always, keep the shadows at your feet and forever out of your heart. I loves you. I appreciate ya. Snap the motherfucker. Shit. Shit! Laters.